Hi everybody, welcome to Blue Heron Hill. I'm Sue and it is March. We made it. It's still winter out there. We still have cold temperatures, although it is in the 40s today. And we're having a nice, hopefully a nice melt of all that compacted snow and ice that's been building up over the last month. According to my seed starting chart, we are 10 weeks to our last projected frost date. And this is the week that I have scheduled to plant brassicas. Now, brassicas are cold tolerant plants. So if I can get a jump on them, they can actually go out into my garden, probably in a cold frame at first, in early April, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers. Most brassicas have a long grow period. This is what I am planting. These are all packets from last year or the year before. I've got some broccoli. Actually, I think I have two types of broccoli that I'm planting. I have some cauliflower. I have some Chinese cabbage. This is delicious. I can link a video up there of a recipe I did. You should try this. It's a very, very flavorful cabbage. Doesn't have the sometimes cabbage overtones like this type of cabbage for slaw and sauerkraut and things like that has. Anyway, very good. Highly recommend it. Anyway, they have a long grow period. So if you can get them out into the garden, that's good. I've got a chart here and I'm going to put a clip of it. It talks about the days from transplant to harvest. A lot of the seed packets tell you how many days to harvest, but what they don't tell you is it's from day of transplant, not the actual day of germination until you can harvest. Okay, here, broccoli, days from transplanting to a mature crop is 100 to 110 days. So that adds significant days onto your growing cycle. Cauliflower, 45 to 80. Shorter period of time, but still the 80 is a long period. I mean, you're talking more than 2 months. Anyway, lots of, I'll post this chart up, put a link up there for you. This is one reason you should read your seed catalogs front to back. This particular one was from Johnny Seeds. Their catalog is a wealth of information, not only just on the particular plant itself, but also in all sorts of great planting literature on how to plant. Oftentimes there's nutritional requirements and stuff for different plants and stuff like that. So don't just read what you're going to buy, the seeds that you're going to buy. There's a wealth of information within some of these catalogs that you can avail yourself of. So what I'm planting, cabbage, Chinese cabbage, cauliflower, and two broccolis. I haven't decided which one, or maybe a combo of both. These are both older seeds, but they're still viable. I did test out some of these, which are, these are perhaps 3 years old. These are seeds from just last year. I've circled 21, and so they should do just fine because I've stored them correctly. So let's get going and just plant a few seeds. Okay, I'm going to use this system again. Once they sprout, then I'll transplant them into larger pots and then get them out into a cold frame early. Another thing about brassicas, and I did this last year in my garden, was I got 2 crops. One that I harvested some in June, July time frame, and then renourished my beds and replanted again. And so I got a second crop of, let's see, I think I planted 2 crops, and I got a second crop of Chinese cabbage and cauliflower, and not large head cabbage, but broccoli. Did extremely well for me. I was very happy that in October I harvested a second crop of these. Something you have to watch out for with your spring crop is if the weather becomes too hot in June and then July, your crop is going to bolt, because these plants, these brassicas, don't like the hot summer sun. You could put shade cloth over them if you wish, but make sure you plant them before they go to seed. When they start heading up, like the broccoli and the cabbages and the cauliflower, once they start heading up, you have to pick them right away. The ones in the fall seem to, I could kind of progressively harvest a couple at a time and use them that way, and didn't have to entirely harvest my whole crop of let's say, the broccoli. They seem to hold on longer, and the cold weather, I don't know if it made them sweeter. Some people say that the cool weather helps with these crops, but they didn't bolt on me. So as a matter of fact, one year I let broccoli go. It wasn't this past winter, it was the winter before. I let broccoli go, and I actually got to harvest some shoots off of that broccoli plant in the springtime. We had a fairly mild winter, and it was tarped over and covered up, but it seemed to make it through the winter, and I had a few shoots before I actually pulled it up so I could replant that bed. So I haven't figured out what I'm actually going to plant. How many am I going to plant? We love broccoli, so I will probably plant about 10 broccolis. The seeds are not huge, but they aren't, they aren't really, really small. I will put a couple in each one of these little plugs, just as an insurance policy. And we'll see how that works. These plugs are all pre-moistened. There was moisture in the bottom of this tray, so they wicked up the water. Okay, that's good. So that's 10. Let's see. Cauliflower, I will give cauliflower probably 10 cauliflowers also. And a couple seeds in each one of these little holes that they have. There we go. And definitely some Chinese cabbage. I will probably, let's see. All of these seeds, not surprisingly, look exactly alike. Okay, so what is left is some of the head cabbage, and I think I am going to plant 6 of those. Looking at my garden plot, I don't have too much room because these take up an exceptionally large space. And I like to harvest these in the fall more than I like to harvest them in the summertime. So we will plant We'll plant 5 here. There we go. Okay. So all you do with this system, you saw my last video, I talked about this system. There is water in the bottom. It wicks up. It keeps this evenly moist. There's a humidity dome that goes on top. Close it off at first. These I will set on a heat mat just to provide a little bit of heat. They will not need a lot of heat. As soon as I see any sprouting, away goes the heat mat. And these will be put in a cooler spot, but with very bright light so they don't become leggy, which they tend to be if you don't give them good enough light. I have grow lights that helps immensely. Putting them on my windowsill, they seem to turn quite leggy, and then they'll have like just a very long neck on them before they start to get their crowns and leaves and things like that on them. So this is what we've got. We've got brassicas ready to go, and I can't wait to put them out in the garden in early May. So follow along with me. So that's brassica planting for 2022. I'll be doing it again in about late June to get crops started for a fall garden. So think about fall gardens. Think about how you lay out your garden plots. So when you harvest those plants, that plot does not stay barren for the rest of the summer. Mother Nature doesn't like barren ground. She likes it covered up. So whether you just replant another crop or you put some cover crop down or something like that, takes just a little bit of forethought for your gardening to keep that part of your garden productive. So thanks for following along with me. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Comment down below if you have any questions. I'd be glad to answer. So next time that we can go digging in the dirt. Happy gardening. Bye.